started playing in blues bands, and then morphed into rock, and then back into blues. And for me, as I came to faith in Jesus, all of a sudden it's like the lyrics start changing. The songs that I wrote, the things that I wanted to say to people. I came out of addiction, everything but needles. And I got a master's in addiction, I'm telling you. And it was 3 overdoses and suicide attempts and all the rest of it. So coming to faith in Jesus, everything began to change. And the addiction started to fall away. And all of a sudden I found myself in a situation where I could do music, but I could do it to tell people, my story and what was happening in my life. And Resurrection Band was a group that came together about the middle of December of 1971. When we started and really started cranking, which was within the first 4 or 5 months of the band, I mean, there might have been 2 or 3 other bands that played honest-to-God rock music, who were professing faith in Jesus. And, people either absolutely loved it or hated it. There were old-time church Christians that freaked out. They said, how can you play that kind of music and call yourselves, believers? And I'm like, chapter and verse, please. There are 480 verses that talk about music in the scriptures, 40 in the New Testament, and 340 actual verses in the scripture. Can you quote a verse or 2 for me about what do you think God thinks about music and styles? All of a sudden, these 3 members of the 5 of us in the band, it was getting pretty difficult to continue to tour. I always love 3-piece groups. If I'm going to do a group, and it's totally on me, okay, give me a really cooking bass player and a really cooking drummer. So I did some praying and thinking about it, and we ended up giving it a go, and people were very receptive. And I found, like Res Band, once again, a kind of a pioneering situation, because they're just trying a lot of blues groups, or blues rock, or, that whole kind of Cream, Government Mule, jam band kind of vibe. Glenn Kaiser Band's been together for something like, I'm going to say 15 years or so, maybe a little longer. And, the beauty of being able to get out and do music that you love, that you're passionate about, and bring a message of hope, I love it.